Picture this. It is Sunday evening, and you are already thinking about how much energy it will take just to get through Monday. You are not sure whether you need a new job, a better manager, a real break, or simply a better attitude. That uncertainty is the dangerous part, because people often stay too long out of fear or leave too quickly out of frustration. The decision becomes clearer when you stop asking whether you are happy every day and start looking for persistent patterns. A difficult project is temporary. A company repeatedly adding responsibility without adding pay, authority, or development is a structural problem. A stressful month can happen anywhere. A job that regularly damages your sleep, relationships, or health is charging more than it pays. A job can remain tolerable while becoming strategically expensive. Familiarity makes it easy to confuse the absence of crisis with the presence of progress. Golden handcuffs complicate the decision. A bonus, pension milestone, or unvested benefit may justify waiting, but only when the value and date are concrete. Most people misread the situation because they focus on one dramatic moment instead of the direction their career has been moving for the last year. The financial leak is not only a low paycheck, it is the gap between what your skills are becoming worth and what your current employer continues paying. When that gap lasts for years, it reduces how much you can save, invest, negotiate from, and use as a base for future raises. Future raises often build from your current base. Remaining underpaid today can weaken the starting point for your next negotiation, even after you eventually move. Burnout can create its own spending pattern. Convenience food, rushed purchases, and expensive ways to recover are not character flaws, but they are real costs. There are also hidden job costs. A long commute, expensive lunches, unpaid overtime, and constant recovery spending can quietly consume the value of staying. The biggest leak may be opportunity. Staying in a stagnant role can cost experience, visibility, and access to work that would raise your market value. Say you earn $70,000 and receive an offer for $82,000. The headline increase is $12,000 a year, but assume the new health plan costs $1,800 more, the retirement match is worth $1,600 less, and the commute adds $2,400 a year. After those differences, the package improves by about $6,200 before taxes, or roughly $517 per month. That may still be worthwhile, especially if the new role improves your skills and future earnings. But $12,000 more salary is not automatically $12,000 more value. The opposite is also true. A modest raise can be powerful when remote work, stronger benefits, or better hours reduce costs elsewhere in your life. Here is the hard truth. Feeling underappreciated does not automatically mean another employer will value you more. And feeling comfortable does not mean staying is wise. Your leverage comes from evidence. Skills, results, relationships, and market demand matter more than how strongly you believe you deserve a change. A new employer is also an unknown. Better interviewing does not guarantee better management, stable priorities, reasonable workloads, or promises that survive your first reorganization. That is why serious comparison goes beyond salary. Review insurance costs, deductibles, paid leave, retirement contributions, bonus conditions, vesting schedules, and any income you would forfeit. Sometimes waiting a few weeks protects a meaningful bonus or benefit. Sometimes waiting another year only repeats the same excuse with a different date. Quitting without a plan can turn a career problem into a cash flow emergency, especially when the job search takes longer than expected. But waiting until you are completely burned out creates another risk. You may have less energy to interview, negotiate, and judge opportunities carefully. Do not change jobs because of one bad week. Change jobs when the pattern fails the three-signal test. First, compensation is no longer keeping pace with your contribution or the market. Second, the role is no longer building valuable skills, responsibility, or career options. Third, the working conditions are consistently harming your life. 1 weak signal calls for a conversation. 2 persistent weak signals call for an active job search. 3 weak signals mean staying probably requires a very strong reason. The goal is not to chase novelty. It is to move when the next role materially improves at least 2 signals. Before deciding the company is the problem, test whether the situation can be repaired through clearer expectations, a different team, adjusted responsibilities, or a compensation review. Think in 3 lanes. Repair the current role when the problem is specific and leadership responds. Search while employed when the pattern persists. Leave without another offer only when the cost of staying clearly exceeds the financial risk. During interviews, investigate the risks you cannot see in the offer. Ask why the role is open, how success is measured, what changed recently, and how the manager handles pressure. Then judge outside opportunities by the full path, not just the first paycheck. Better work should improve your earnings, capabilities, conditions, or preferably several at once. Start by documenting what changed. Write down your added responsibilities, measurable results, missed development promises, compensation history, and the conditions affecting your performance. Next, test the market quietly. Review real postings, talk with recruiters, and apply selectively so you can compare your assumptions with actual employer interest. Give your employer one fair opportunity to respond when repair is realistic. Ask for a specific change, a decision date, and a clear explanation of what must happen next. Then judge actions, not reassurance. A vague promise without an owner, amount, or timeline is not a plan, and it should not pause your search indefinitely. The best time to prepare for a job change is before you are desperate to leave. Build an exit runway based on your real monthly expenses, not a round number that only sounds safe. If your essential spending is $4,000 a month, 3 months of runway is $12,000. 6 months is $24,000. You may not need the full amount before accepting another job, but quitting without an offer makes the buffer far more important. Cash gives you negotiating power. It keeps a bad manager from forcing you into the first available replacement. Finally, decide your minimum acceptable move before interviewing. Set standards for total compensation, schedule, commute, manager quality, development, and financial risk. Do not resign on verbal promises. Wait for the written offer, confirm contingencies and start dates, and understand what happens if screening or approvals are delayed. Also plan the transition month. Final pay, benefit timing, unused leave, moving costs, and the first new paycheck may not line up neatly. Wealth Nexus Rule: do not leave only to escape. Leave toward a measurably better career and financial position. If you need help mapping the cash buffer and income goals behind a career move, the Financial Blueprint Workbook can help organize that decision. For more practical money and career decisions like this, you can also join the free Wealth Nexus newsletter. Changing jobs is not automatically brave, and staying is not automatically responsible. The quality of the decision depends on what the move actually improves. Look for persistent evidence, compare the full financial package, protect your runway, and move toward a role that strengthens more than your title. The right decision may be to leave now, search quietly, negotiate internally, or wait for a specific benefit. What matters is that the delay has a reason and deadline. A good job change should not merely make next month feel better. It should make the next several years more valuable. Like and subscribe.